Welder, 30th week, Part 3, Hardening and Tempering. Introduction. If a piece of steel is heated to a sufficiently high temperature, all the carbon will be dissolved in the solid iron to form the solid solution. When it is slowly cooled, the change in the arrangement of the iron atom will cause a solid solution called ferrite to be produced. The effect of carbon content upon the hardness produced by the process is illustrated in figure 1. The principle of hardening. If steel is cooled rapidly, or we can say quenched, the excess carbon will not have sufficient time to leave the solid solution, with the result that it will be trapped in the iron and so cause an internal distortion. Figure 2 illustrates the temperature to which steel are heated before quenching. The mechanical properties produced as a result of this treatment will depend upon the carbon content of the steel, the temperature to which it is heated, the duration of heating, the temperature of the steel at the start of quenching, the cooling rate produced by quenching. Soaking time. After heating, the steel is held at that temperature for some time. Normally 5 minutes are allowed as soaking time for 10 mm thickness of steel. Cooling. Then the steel is cooled in a suitable quenching medium at a certain minimum rate called the critical cooling rate. The critical cooling rate depends upon the composition of the steel. This cooling transforms all the austenite into a fine needle-like structure called martensite, the appearance of which is shown in figure 3. The structure of steel treated this way is very hard and strong but very brittle. The quenching medium. The quenching medium controls the rate of cooling. For rapid quenching, a solution of salt or caustic soda in water is used. For very slow quenching, a blast of air is sufficient. Oil gives an intermediate quenching. Water and oil are the most common quenching media used. Air quenching is suitable only for certain special alloyed steel. Tempering. After hardening, steel is usually reheated to a suitable temperature below the low critical point to improve its toughness and ductility, but it is done at the expense of hardness and strength. Purpose of tempering the steel. Steel in its hardened condition is generally too brittle and too severely strained. In this condition, steel cannot be used and hence it has to be tempered. The aim of tempering are to relieve the steel from internal stresses and strains, to regulate the hardness and toughness, to reduce the brittleness, to restore some ductility. Process of tempering. The tempering temperature depends upon the properties required, but it is between 180 degrees Celsius and 650 degrees Celsius as shown in figure 4. The duration of heating depends upon the thickness of the material. Tools are usually tempered at a low temperature. The temperature itself is judged by the color of the oxide film produced upon heating as shown in table 1. This method is not, however, suitable for accurate temperature assessment. In a manufacturing plant, when heat treating is done on a production basis, modern methods are used. Tempering is done in controlled atmosphere furnaces with temperature controlled by modern instruments. Figure 5 illustrates the appearance of the microstructure of hardened and tempered steel. Generally, tempering in the lower temperature range for an increased time provides greater control in securing the desirable mechanical properties. Such heat treatment may not be feasible under all conditions. Figure 6 illustrates how the mechanical properties of hardened steel can be modified by tempering. Annealing. In this process, steel is heated to a suitable temperature depending upon its carbon content as shown in figure 1 and is held at that temperature for sufficient time and then slowly cooled to a room temperature. The heating, soaking, or we can say holding the temperature and slow cooling cause the grains to become large and so produce softness and ductility. For annealing, soaking time at this temperature is 5 minutes per 10 mm of thickness for carbon steel. The cooling rate for carbon steel is 100 to 150 degrees Celsius per hour. The cooling is done in the furnace itself by switching off the furnace, or the steel is covered either with sand or dry lime and dry ash. Annealing is done to obtain softness, to improve machinability, to increase ductility, to relieve internal stresses, to reduce or eliminate structural inhomogeneity, to refine grain size, to prepare the steel for subsequent heat treatment process. Normalizing. Due to continuous hammering or uneven cooling, strains and stresses are formed in the internal structure of steel. Normalizing is done to produce a fine grain for uniformity of structure and for improved mechanical properties. The normalizing process. In this process, steel is heated to a suitable temperature depending upon its carbon content as shown in figure 2, and held at the same temperature and then cooled freely in air. Normalizing is usually done before machining and before hardening to put the steel in the best condition for these operations. The steel is heated to a temperature 300 to 400 degrees Celsius above the upper critical temperature, at which all austenite is present even in the case of high carbon steel. Use of temperature indicating crayon. The temperature of the preheated job can be checked by wax crayons. Marks are made on the cold job pieces by these crayons before preheating, and after the job pieces reach the preheating temperature, the mark will disappear. This indicates that the job has been heated to the required preheating temperature. Different wax crayons are available for checking different temperatures. The temperature which is checked by the crayon will be marked on it. Thank you.